Okay guys, are you ready for a clash of anomalous titans, the likes of which the fictional universe of the SCP Foundation has never before seen? Well, I say titans, but only in the metaphorical sense, because the only prize that these guys are in line for is potentially ending the world as we know it. Let me introduce you to two of the most infamous entries under the Foundation's current containment, SCP-096, aka the Shy Guy, and SCP-173, aka well, Peanut. Not exactly the most honorific of titles, but if you know anything about the SCP Foundation, you'll know that these guys are pretty big hitters, or neck snappers, or movers, I guess. Hello internet, what's going on? And once again, welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. As per usual, I'll be your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch, as today, we curiously ask the question, what if SCP-096 fought SCP-173? Roll the clip.
Oh, could you? This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
For the curious amongst you, that clip was from The Dark Knight, starring the late great Heath Ledger in his iconic, unprecedented role as the Joker. What's that got to do with the SCP Foundation, you may ask? Well, nothing really, but it's important to note that his infamous line will add a bit of perspective to this particular hypothetical bout of anomalies. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? When SCP-096 meets SCP-173? Yeah, you get the metaphor, don't you? Before we ride on into this bout to end all bouts, it would only be proper that we first take a look at each of our respective contenders. For those of you that don't know anything about the SCP Foundation, now would probably be high time to go and check out our respective Life's Biggest Questions based on the two of them, where we've diligently outlined their mechanics and put them into several hypothetical scenarios, most of which end in complete and utter disaster. For those of you that aren't so inclined though, let's take a brief look at what they've got in store for us. First up, in the blue corner, we've got SCP-096. As the record states, the Shy Guy is a Euclid-class humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. The subject shows very little muscle mass, but luckily for him, this brawl isn't pertinent to a weigh-in, and despite him exhibiting signs of malnutrition, his physical stature by no means coincides with his ability to obliterate his opponents. 096 has elongated clawed arms that are grossly out of proportion with the rest of its body, each measuring approximately 1.5 meters. Its jaw can open to 4 times the norm of an average human's, and it uses that anomalous quirk to gobble up its victims with startling efficiency. Put it this way, SCP-096 has no time for leftovers. And the most important facet of SCP-096, which will play the largest part in this hypothetical battle, comes with its most important anomalous function. Whenever someone views the physical image of the Shy Guy, be it in person, in a video feed, or even a still photograph, it will enter a state of considerable emotional distress, and within several minutes of the viewing begin running at speeds of up to several hundred kilometers an hour towards the person or persons that had viewed it. And by running, I mean that it will literally traverse any and every terrain on the planet and cannot be stopped by any known physical material or object. Yeah, if you couldn't tell already, this guy is our unstoppable force. And the main thing to remember for this contender is don't look at it. Ever. Ever. On the flip side to that, we have SCP-173, also known as Peanut. Yeah, a name to strike terror into the hearts of humankind, but seriously, this particular anomalous entity is damn terrifying. In the red corner, hailing from Site-19, SCP-173 is an anomalous object of unknown origin, exhibited as a strangely adorned statue. It is constructed from concrete and rebar spattered with traces of Krylon brand spray paint. Despite its appearance, SCP-173 is animate and extremely hostile, but SCP-173's particular terrifying function comes as a complete contrast to that of SCP-096's. You see, 173 cannot move whilst within direct line of sight, much similar to the weeping angels of Doctor Who fame, and if that line of sight is ever broken, even by blinking, then 173 will instantaneously attack its victim by snapping their neck at the base of the skull, or in rare circumstances, strangulation. You can see where we're going with this one, right? A creature that you cannot look at versus a creature that will instantly end your life the moment you look away from it. Unstoppable force meets immovable object. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The thing is though, this hypothetical bout isn't exactly as straightforward as it may seem, or even as one-sided for that matter. In fact, depending on your particular SCP canon, this titanic battle has already been played out by Foundation researchers. As the test results show, initially, an image of 096 was projected into 173's containment cell, and initially the statue showed zero reaction to it, perhaps due to the fact fact that it's, well, a statue. Whether this was because 173 was unaware of what 096 is or simply wasn't concerned at all is completely unknown, but when 096 inevitably arrived at 173's cell, that's when the real bloodbath began. It's important to note that SCP-173 is capable of moving at anomalous speeds, literally quicker than the blink of an eye, and when SCP-096 first breached its containment cell, 173 was easily fast enough to avoid all of the Shy Guy's attacks, which, if you couldn't tell, is pretty unprecedented. In the test logs, the next instance ended quicker than a flash. Crunch, 173 snapped the Shy Guy's neck with ease, despite it having an anomalous bone structure that was otherwise thought to be impervious. But this is the point in the fight when 096 pulled the classic Rocky Balboa, and after several minutes completely regenerated and staggered back to its feet. The same exact scenario played out again, over and over for 5 hours straight. Every time 173 would snap the Shy Guy's neck with relative ease, and every time SCP-096 would eventually regenerate under its anomalous wherewithal, flung back into its signature rage state where it attempts to maul and ravage the statue. But it's exactly that, a statue, an immovable object that can also snap the neck of any creature in a nanosecond. In fact, in all likelihood, this hypothetical bout could potentially continue infinitely, in a cycle of neck snapping and anomalous regeneration as the two terrifying entities grasped in chaos without coming to the realization that neither can defeat the other. However, in the Foundation canon test logs, it is important to note that eventually, after over 5 hours of the same played out assault, SCP-096 eventually whimpered and fled from the containment cell, where it was bagged and tagged by a mobile task force and returned to its own containment area. In that sense, this is a clear win for SCP-173. You cannot defeat and you cannot not get your neck snapped by it, even if you are a terrifying, unstoppable, anomalous entity such as SCP-096. In that case, if this battle was based on a point system similar to a boxing bout, that probably puts SCP-173 on a pretty one-sided decision. Even if this endless cycle of destruction did go on for at least 5 hours, at roughly 1 neck snap a minute, that's 60 neck snaps an hour, 300 neck snaps over a 5-hour period. So, in that case, that's SCP-173 300 neck snaps to SCP-096's 0. In that case, Peanut wins! Well, there we have it, our play-by-play to the Unstoppable Force meeting the immovable object, and the question, what if SCP-096 fought SCP-173? Peanut wins. Kind of. Well, what do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you think SCP-096 would have taken the fight instead? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below, as well as any interesting insights you may have about the fictional world of the SCP Foundation. Before we depart from today's video though, let's first take a quick look at some of your more creative comments from over the past few days. TV says, I'm glad that Jack Finch is back. Aw, thanks TV, but I didn't go anywhere, did I? Oh wait, oh no. It happened again, didn't it? Damn. I had a weird feeling that I was in the wrong timeline, you know. Well, you know what they say? Always trust your gut. Well, on that note, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Cheers for sticking around all the way until the end. If you were a fan of this video or just life's biggest questions in general, then please be a dear and hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe bell. And I'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch. You've been watching Life's Biggest Questions, and until next time, you take it easy.